Deep beneath the shimmering, sunlit surface of Florida's coastal waters, a colossal shadow glides silently over the sandy seabed. Here, in the warm embrace of the Gulf Stream, a true giant reigns, one whose presence is felt long before it is ever seen. This is the domain of the Goliath grouper, a fish so immense and ancient that it seems to belong to another era. Its body, thick and barrel-shaped, moves with a slow, deliberate grace, every muscle rippling beneath mottled skin that mirrors the dappled sunlight above. Goliath groupers can reach lengths of over 6.5 feet and weigh as much as 800 pounds. Some have been found so large they rival the size of a small car, their age etched into every scar and patch of rough skin. These giants are masters of stealth, their bodies perfectly camouflaged in a patchwork of browns, yellows and olive greens. They slip between the shadows of shipwrecks and the twisted roots of mangrove forests, vanishing in plain sight as if swallowed by the sea itself. The Goliath grouper is a patient hunter, a living relic of a time when size and cunning ruled the reefs. It does not chase its prey. Instead it waits, motionless, almost statuesque, until the perfect moment arrives. When a fish, crab, or even a small turtle drifts too close, the grouper's mouth snaps open in a split second, creating a thunderous vacuum. The prey is sucked in with such force that escape is impossible, a single, devastating move honed over millions of years. The sound of this strike is legendary, a deep, resonant boom that echoes through the water, startling nearby fish and sending a shiver through the reef. It is the unmistakable signature of the King of the Shadows. For centuries, the Goliath grouper has shaped the world around it. Its presence keeps populations of smaller fish and crustaceans in check, maintaining the delicate balance of the reef. Even sharks give these giants a wide berth, wary of their sheer size and power. These fish are ancient, with lifespans that can stretch beyond 40 years. Over decades they grow ever larger, their bodies becoming living chronicles of the reef's history, witnesses to hurricanes, shipwrecks, and the slow, relentless march of time. Their eyes, large and unblinking, seem to hold a quiet intelligence. They watch the world with a calm, ancient patience, as if remembering a time when monsters ruled the deep. Legends swirl around these giants. Old tales speak of groupers so large they could swallow a sea turtle whole, or vanish into a shipwreck's hold, never to be seen again. Some say the oldest groupers have learned to recognize the sound of boat engines, slipping away before danger arrives. In the silent world beneath the waves, the Goliath grouper is both legend and reality. A living fortress, a shadow that drifts through the ruins of sunken ships and the tangled roots of ancient mangroves. Watch as it glides through a forest of swaying sea fans, its massive tail stirring up clouds of sand. Each movement is deliberate, a reminder that in this underwater kingdom the Goliath grouper is both ruler and ghost, seen by few, respected by all. As dusk falls and the reef grows quiet, the giant retreats to its lair, a cave, a hollow in the wreck, or the tangled heart of a mangrove. There it waits, a silent sentinel guarding the secrets of the deep, until the sun rises once more over Florida's mysterious coast. Grouper fishing in Florida is not merely a modern pursuit. It is a living legacy, deeply rooted in the state's history and woven into the very fabric of its coastal communities. For generations, the pursuit of grouper has shaped the rhythms of life along these shores, transforming sleepy fishing villages into thriving economic hubs. In the early 20th century, Florida's abundant reefs and deep waters drew pioneering fishermen who braved the Gulf and Atlantic in wooden boats, guided by little more than instinct and hand-drawn maps. These early expeditions laid the foundation for a booming industry that would come to define the region. Today, the grouper industry, spanning both commercial and sport fishing, generates hundreds of millions of dollars annually, supporting a vast network of businesses and livelihoods. The economic impact is felt far beyond the docks. rippling through every corner of the coastal economy. Processing plants, distribution centers, and logistics companies all play a crucial role in bringing fresh grouper from the sea to tables across the nation and beyond. Each link in this supply chain is vital, creating jobs and sustaining entire communities. The value of a single fishing season can soar past $200,000 in tournament prizes alone, but the true economic footprint is far greater, encompassing equipment manufacturers, marine service providers, and countless small businesses that depend on the steady flow of anglers and seafood lovers. Major fishing tournaments celebrated with banners and trophies draw global attention and inject fresh energy into local economies, ensuring that coastal towns remain vibrant and prosperous year after year. The economic web stretches from the boatyards and bait suppliers to the marine mechanics who keep engines humming and the factories that engineer ever-stronger rods and reels. At the heart of this world are the captains and crews whose expertise is honed over decades and whose knowledge of the sea is passed down like a treasured heirloom. The industry's reach extends to the skilled hands of marine mechanics, the innovation of tackle designers, and the meticulous care of bait suppliers, each essential to the ongoing hunt for the legendary grouper. Every dollar spent by anglers and seafood enthusiasts circulates through the local economy, supporting family-owned businesses and preserving a way of life that has endured for generations. The rhythm of life in many Florida towns is set by the tides and the seasons, with fortunes rising and falling alongside the health of the grouper population. Grouper fishing is celebrated in festivals and rituals that honor the sea's bounty, with traditions that stretch back to the earliest settlers and indigenous peoples who revered these waters. Tales of epic battles with giant groupers have become local folklore, immortalized in weathered photographs, handwritten journals, and the names of boats that still ply the waters today. The culture is etched into the landscape itself, from murals and monuments to the stories that echo through every dock and market. Knowledge is passed down through books, artifacts, and oral tradition, ensuring that each new generation learns the art and science of grouper fishing. This shared passion for the sea and its most formidable inhabitant unites entire communities, fostering a sense of identity and belonging that transcends time. The pursuit is not just about the catch, it is about the connection to the ocean, the anticipation of the unknown, and the respect for the forces of nature. Each journey begins before dawn, with the scent of salt in the air and the promise of adventure shimmering on the horizon. Every cast is a leap of faith, a test of skill and patience, and a chance to write a new chapter in the ongoing saga of Florida's grouper legacy. The struggle between angler and grouper is a timeless contest, celebrated in art, literature, and the collective memory of the coast. This enduring bond between people, place, and the powerful grouper is what makes Florida's fishing culture truly unique, a living testament to the state's history, resilience, and spirit of adventure. Grouper fishing is more than an industry. It's a tradition, an economic lifeline, and a source of pride that continues to shape the identity of Florida's coast generation after generation. Not all legendary fish battles unfold in the wild, untamed reaches of the open ocean. Sometimes the most epic encounters happen right in the heart of the city, where concrete, steel, and water collide beneath the hum of urban life. Beneath the familiar arches of a city bridge, where the river's current whispers secrets to the pilings and the distant rumble of traffic never ceases, a hidden world thrives. Here, in the shadow of skyscrapers and neon lights, a monster waits. The water is murky, swirling with the detritus of city life, plastic bottles, drifting leaves, and the occasional flash of a startled mullet. The pilings are thick with barnacles and oysters, forming a fortress of razor-sharp obstacles. In the early morning hush, as the city stirs awake, a fishing line drifts lazily in the current, baited and hopeful. The surface is calm, reflecting the city's lights and the first blush of dawn. Suddenly the tranquility shatters. The line snaps tight, slicing through the water with a force that reverberates up the rod. The reel spins wildly, its mechanical scream echoing beneath the bridge, drowned only by the rush of the river. Deep below, a colossal shadow surges. The grouper, ancient and cunning, knows every inch of this urban labyrinth. It dives, dragging the line dangerously close to the barnacle-encrusted concrete, using the very structure of the bridge as a shield. The battle is silent but fierce. The fish pulls with relentless power, its massive tail churning up silt and debris. The line scrapes against rough concrete, fibers fraying as the grouper tries to break free. The city above is oblivious. Cars speed by, horns blare, and pigeons scatter as a train rattles overhead. But below, in the gloom, the struggle is primal. The grouper twists and turns, wrapping the line around submerged obstacles, testing the limits of both angler and equipment. Every surge is calculated. The fish knows when to dive, when to pause, when to use the current to its advantage. It is a battle of wits as much as strength, fought in the shadows of civilization. The water boils as the grouper makes a final desperate lunge. The line holds, barely, and the massive head of the fish finally breaks the surface, glistening in the golden light of sunrise. For a moment, the city and the wild are one. An ancient creature revealed in the most unlikely of places, a legend born beneath the bridge. As the sun sets and the city lights flicker on, the water returns to calm. The bridge stands silent, keeping its secrets. But beneath the surface, the memory of the battle lingers, a reminder that in Florida's urban waters, monsters still roam, waiting for the next unexpected encounter. In the quiet stillness of a Florida sunrise, the ocean stretches endlessly, its surface painted gold by the first light of day. A small skiff drifts alone, dwarfed by the vastness, its hull barely disturbing the glassy water. The only signs of human presence are the carefully arranged fishing rods and the subtle creak of the boat as it rocks gently with the tide. The skiff anchors above a familiar wreck, a hidden world beneath the waves where shadows move and secrets linger. A baited hook descends, vanishing into the blue, drifting down toward the silent, waiting depths. Below, a Goliath grouper lurks in the gloom, its immense body blending with the wreckage. The fish is a living relic, its scales scarred by years of survival, its eyes ancient and unblinking as it surveys its domain. Suddenly the stillness shatters. The fishing line snaps taut, the rod bends violently, and the skiff lurches sideways, water splashing over the gunwales as the unseen force below asserts its power. The rod and reel strain under the pressure, the line humming with tension. The boat tilts, gear sliding across the deck as the battle begins in earnest. The grouper dives, using its massive weight and strength to anchor itself in the wreck. The line slices through the water, pulled relentlessly downward into the shadows. The skiff rocks in the open water, the sun climbing higher as the hours drag on. The rod tip quivers, the reel turns slowly, line let out and reeled in inch by inch as the struggle continues. The fishing line frays under the strain, saltwater droplets clinging to the taut strand. The shadow of the skiff drifts over the wreck, a silent witness to the tension between surface and deep. The sun blazes overhead, heat shimmering on the empty deck. The reel handle turns, slow and laboured, as if time itself has slowed to match the relentless contest below. At last the grouper's movements grow sluggish, sand settling around the wreck as its strength wanes. The line slackens, the rod tip eases, and the balance of power shifts. The massive fish rises, drawn inexorably toward the surface, sunlight filtering through the water as its shadow looms larger and larger beneath the skiff. When the Goliath grouper finally surfaces, its size is breathtaking, nearly as long as the skiff is wide. The water churns with its bulk, the scale of the catch revealed in stark relief. The skiff drifts in the golden light, the trophy fish beside it, a silent testament to an epic struggle. No cheers, no celebration, just the quiet aftermath, the ocean vast and eternal, bearing witness to the ordeal and the victory hard won against a true giant of the sea. Beneath the shimmering surface, the ocean is alive with anticipation. Here, in the blue depths, a hidden world teems with life, schools of silverfish darting through shafts of sunlight, curious groupers gliding among coral towers, and the silent pulse of the sea echoing all around. Suddenly, a shadow sweeps across the reef as a massive net descends, its fine mesh glinting in the filtered light. The net moves with silent purpose, encircling a vibrant gathering of marine life, groupers, snappers, and swirling clouds of baitfish. As the net tightens, the ocean's treasures are drawn together in a living tapestry. Groupers, with their mottled brown and silver scales, hover near the bottom, while flashes of colour from parrotfish and angelfish shimmer above. The net forms a colossal column, stretching from the sunlit surface down to the shadowy seabed, enclosing a breathtaking array of marine life. Within this net full of treasure, the true stars are the groupers, some small and quick, others massive and ancient, their eyes reflecting the mysteries of the deep. Among them, the legendary Goliath groupers loom like underwater titans, their sheer size a testament to the ocean's power and abundance. The net pulses with life, scales glinting, fins fluttering, and the collective energy of hundreds of creatures swirling in a confined ballet. Rays of sunlight pierce the water, illuminating the spectacle and revealing the dazzling diversity of the reef's inhabitants. For a moment, the net becomes a living treasure chest, brimming with the ocean's riches. Each grouper, each fish, is a jewel, part of a delicate ecosystem that has flourished for centuries beneath the waves. But this breathtaking bounty is also a reminder of the ocean's fragility. The abundance within the net is a fleeting moment, one that must be cherished and protected, so that the reefs and their inhabitants can continue to thrive for generations to come. In the end, the true treasure is not just the catch, but the vibrant, mysterious world that lies beneath the surface, alive, resilient, and waiting to be discovered anew each day. Some fishing battles are not won with power, but with pure, unyielding patience and endurance. This was the case in one of the most grueling single angler fights in Florida's history. The angler, a seasoned sport fisherman, was specifically targeting a monster-class Goliath grouper. He was prepared with heavy-duty gear and a sturdy boat, but no amount of preparation can truly ready you for a battle of this magnitude. He hooked a fish that was later estimated to weigh over 440 pounds, and what followed was not a short burst of action, but a marathon of physical and mental exhaustion that pushed him to his absolute limit. The fight lasted for hours. The fish was a titan, and it used every ounce of its weight and strength to resist. It didn't make long screaming runs like a marlin. Instead, it engaged in a vertical tug-of-war, diving deep and holding its ground on the seafloor. The angler had to maintain constant heavy pressure on the line, a task that is physically torturous over a prolonged period. His back ached, his arms felt like they were on fire, and his hands were cramped and blistered. The sun beat down and dehydration became a real danger. The battle became less about fishing and more about survival, a primal test of one man's will against a creature of immense power. The mental challenge was just as great as the physical one. Hours into the fight, with no end in sight, it is easy for doubt and despair to set in. The angler had to remain focused, constantly adjusting the boat's position to keep the line from breaking and managing the drag on his reel with expert precision. A single mistake, a moment of lapsed concentration, would mean losing the fish of a lifetime. He had to battle his own exhaustion, pushing through pain and fatigue, drawing on a deep reserve of mental fortitude. It was a lonely fight, a solitary struggle against an unseen leviathan in the depths below. In the end, it was perseverance that won the day. The angler's relentless pressure slowly, painstakingly wore the giant down. After a battle that stretched across a significant part of the day, the massive fish finally began to yield. It was brought to the side of the boat, a colossal creature that dwarfed the man who had conquered it. This victory was not about a quick, explosive show of strength. It was a testament to the power of human endurance, a demonstration that with enough patience, skill, and sheer unwillingness to give up, even the mightiest giant of the sea can be overcome. It was the ultimate angler's ultimate battle. In the shadowy depths off the Florida coast, where sunlight fades into a mysterious blue, legends are born. Here, beneath the rolling waves, the ocean conceals giants, creatures so immense and ancient they seem to belong to another era. On this fateful day the sea was calm, its surface a mirror, reflecting the first light of morning. But below, in the silent world of shadows and shifting currents, something extraordinary was waiting. The hunt began with a pulse on the sonar, a signal so large it dwarfed everything else on the screen. The anomaly hovered near the ocean floor, a living mountain cloaked in darkness. There, gliding just above the sand, was the Goliath grouper. Its body was a fortress of muscle and scale, mottled with ancient scars and the colours of the deep, olive, bronze, and shadowy black. Its eyes, large and unblinking, seemed to hold the secrets of centuries. Each slow movement sent clouds of silt swirling, as if the sea itself bowed to its presence. The bait drifted down, a single thread of hope in the vastness. The grouper hovered, sensing the disturbance, its gills flaring as it considered the offering. In a flash, the sea monster struck. Its jaws, wide enough to swallow a grown man, snapped shut with a force that echoed through the water. The battle began in silence, but the violence was unmistakable. The grouper thrashed, its tail sending shockwaves through the water, turning the seabed into a storm of sand and broken shells. The line stretched, trembling on the edge of disaster. Every second was a test of strength, steel against scale, patience against primal fury. The grouper dove, seeking refuge among ancient rocks, its bulk wedging into crevices carved by centuries of tides. The ocean seemed to hold its breath. For an hour the struggle raged. The grouper's gills pumped furiously, its muscles rippling with every surge, refusing to yield. Above, the rod bent in a perfect arc, the reel's gears groaning under the relentless pressure. The equipment was pushed to the very edge of failure. The grouper's tail, battered and scarred from a lifetime of battles, beat against the current, refusing to surrender. The hook held fast, buried deep in the monster's jaw. Every muscle in its body strained, every instinct screamed for freedom. Slowly, inexorably, the sea monster began to rise. Bubbles streamed from its mouth, the pressure of the deep releasing its grip as the surface drew near. Its shadow grew, looming beneath the boat, a living legend emerging from the abyss. When it finally broke the surface, the sunlight danced across its scales, each one as large as a man's hand, glistening with the colours of the deep. The Goliath grouper lay on the deck, water streaming from its gills, its body dwarfing everything around it. It was a living relic, a true sea monster, nearly 1,000 pounds of raw, ancient power. Its mouth, cavernous and lined with rows of tiny teeth, opened and closed as it breathed, a reminder of the wild, untamed world beneath the waves. From its massive head to its powerful tail, every inch of the grouper told a story of survival, of battles fought and won in the silent world below. The ocean stretched endlessly beyond, sunlight sparkling on the waves. The legend of the sea monster was no longer just a story. It was real, and it had been brought into the light. In the grouper's ancient eye, the sky and sea were reflected, a silent witness to a battle that would be remembered for generations. Landing this true sea monster was not just a feat of strength, but a moment of awe and reverence, a reminder of the mysteries that still dwell in the deep. This was the new benchmark, a story etched into the annals of the sea, a testament to the epic struggle between man and the monsters that haunt the depths. Once a grouper is landed, whether by a commercial fleet or a sport fisherman, it enters a complex, high-stakes marketplace where every second and every dollar counts. The value of a grouper is intrinsically linked to its freshness. Immediately after landing, the fish is packed in ice and transferred to refrigerated transport, ensuring it remains at peak quality as it moves through the supply chain. At the heart of the market, prices are set by a dynamic interplay of supply, demand, and quality. Digital tracking and real-time data allow buyers and sellers to negotiate based on the latest market conditions, with prices for premium grouper ranging from $10 to $50 per pound. Transactions are swift and businesslike. Grouper is sorted by size and grade, with larger, higher-quality specimens commanding top dollar. A single Goliath grouper can represent a windfall, sometimes valued at up to $15,000. From the dock, the fish are sorted and stored in temperature-controlled environments. Smaller groupers are allocated for local distribution, while the largest and most valuable are earmarked for premium markets. Local markets and restaurants throughout Florida rely on a steady supply of these smaller groupers, which are delivered daily to ensure maximum freshness for their signature dishes. The most valuable groupers, however, are prepared for a global journey. These fish are meticulously processed, packed in specialized containers, and routed through a sophisticated logistics network. Within 24 hours, a Florida grouper can travel thousands of miles, arriving at luxury restaurants in major cities or high-end markets in Asia, where demand for large, pristine fish is exceptionally high. This rapid, tightly controlled supply chain is essential for maintaining the fish's value. Any delay or lapse in temperature control can result in significant financial loss. The immense monetary stakes drive constant investment in technology, infrastructure, and logistics. Commercial fleets and distributors compete to maximize efficiency and minimize risk, knowing that the difference between profit and loss can hinge on a single hour. The grouper market is a relentless, high-speed operation. Every link in the chain, from landing to final delivery, operates under pressure with no room for error. Yet this economic engine comes at a cost. The relentless demand for grouper places significant pressure on wild populations and their habitats, highlighting the need for sustainable practices and careful management. The future of the high-stakes grouper market depends on striking a balance between profitability and preservation, ensuring that both the industry and the ecosystem can thrive for generations to come. The same qualities that make the Goliath grouper a legendary prize for fishermen, its immense size, slow growth, and predictable spawning grounds, also render it uniquely vulnerable to the pressures of the world around it. But beneath the surface, a quiet revolution in conservation has been unfolding, one that reaches far beyond a single species. For decades, unchecked fishing and habitat loss threaten not only the Goliath grouper, but the entire tapestry of marine life that depends on Florida's reefs and estuaries. As the giants vanished, the reefs themselves began to change. Without these apex predators, populations of smaller fish and invertebrates shifted, upsetting the delicate balance that sustains the ecosystem. By the late 1980s, the underwater world was growing quieter, emptier, a shadow of its former abundance. The disappearance of the Goliath grouper signaled a deeper loss, a warning that the health of the entire ecosystem was at stake. In response, a wave of conservation strategies emerged: marine protected areas, habitat restoration, and strict no-take zones, designed to give nature a chance to heal. In 1990, a landmark ban on harvesting Goliath grouper was enacted, transforming these giants from a vanishing resource into a symbol of hope for the ocean's recovery. The ban was just the beginning. Conservationists focused on restoring critical habitats, mangroves, seagrass beds, and coral reefs where young groupers could grow and thrive, safe from harm. These efforts have allowed not only the Goliath grouper, but countless other species to reclaim their place in the ecosystem. The goal was always bigger than a single species: to restore the intricate web of life that makes Florida's reefs among the most vibrant on Earth. These conservation measures marked a turning point, sparking a slow but steady resurgence of life beneath the waves. Today the reefs pulse with renewed energy. Groupers, once ghosts, now move boldly among the corals, their presence a testament to nature's resilience. Over the past 3 decades, the Goliath grouper population has made a remarkable comeback, their numbers rising alongside the health of the reefs. Their return has helped restore balance, as these apex predators keep populations of smaller fish and invertebrates in check, allowing corals and sponges to flourish. The Goliath grouper's role as a keystone species is now clear. Its presence shapes the very structure of the reef, fostering diversity and abundance. Their recovery is a living example of what's possible when science, stewardship and patience come together in service of the ocean. Today, catch-and-release practices and ongoing monitoring ensure that the population remains healthy while the reefs continue to recover and thrive. Yet, the future of the Goliath grouper and the reefs they call home depends on our continued commitment to conservation. As their numbers grow, the challenge is to maintain this balance, ensuring that the ecosystem remains healthy for all its inhabitants. Every grouper, every coral, every tiny creature plays a part in this intricate web of life. The story of the Goliath grouper is a story of hope, a reminder that with care and vision we can restore what was lost. The fight for conservation is ongoing, but the ocean's resilience shines through. The Goliath grouper's return is a promise that with continued stewardship, the reefs of Florida and the life they support can flourish for generations to come. Beneath the rolling waves and sun-dappled shallows, the life of a Goliath grouper unfolds in remarkable ways. These giants begin their journey as tiny, nearly transparent larvae, drifting with the currents among tangled mangrove roots and seagrass beds. Here, in these sheltered nurseries, the young groupers find both food and protection from predators, growing slowly but steadily. As they mature, the groupers migrate to deeper waters, seeking out the labyrinthine crevices of coral reefs and rocky outcrops. These reefs provide both shelter and hunting grounds, as the now adult groupers ambush unsuspecting prey with a sudden powerful gulp. Masters of camouflage, they blend seamlessly with their surroundings, lying in wait for the perfect moment to strike. Goliath groupers are unique not only for their size, reaching up to 8 feet in length and weighing over 800 pounds, but also for their remarkable longevity. Some individuals live for more than 40 years, growing larger and more formidable with each passing decade. One of the most extraordinary aspects of their biology is their spawning behavior. Each summer, hundreds of groupers gather at specific sites along the reef, forming massive spawning aggregations. Here, in synchronized harmony, they release millions of eggs and sperm into the water, a spectacle of life renewed. These gatherings are vital for the survival of the species, but also make them vulnerable to overfishing, a reminder of the delicate balance between abundance and risk. Throughout their lives, groupers play a crucial role in the health of their habitats. As apex predators, they help control populations of smaller fish and invertebrates, keeping the ecosystem in check. Their presence shapes the very structure of the reef, creating spaces for countless other creatures to thrive. From hidden nurseries to the open reef, the story of the Goliath grouper is one of adaptation, resilience, and quiet power, a testament to the complexity and wonder of life beneath the waves. Even the mighty Goliath grouper is not without enemies. In the shadowy depths and bustling reefs of Florida's coastal waters, a silent struggle for survival unfolds every day. As juveniles, groupers face a gauntlet of threats: fast-moving barracudas, opportunistic snappers, and lurking moray eels, all ready to pounce on the unwary or the weak. The tangled roots of mangrove nurseries offer some protection, but danger is never far away. As they grow, the threats change but never disappear. Larger predators like bull sharks and great hammerheads patrol the reefs, their keen senses tuned to the movements of these hefty fish. With a sudden burst of speed, a shark can turn a calm day into a desperate chase. Even adult groupers, with their imposing size, must remain vigilant. A moment's distraction can mean the difference between life and death. But predators aren't the only peril. Disease and parasites lurk in the water, weakening even the strongest giants. Shifts in the ecosystem, from coral bleaching to the decline of seagrass beds, can strip away both food and shelter, leaving groupers exposed and vulnerable. Competition is fierce too. Other large reef dwellers, like snappers and jacks, vie for territory and prey, leading to tense standoffs and sudden bursts of aggression. Each encounter shapes the delicate balance of the reef, as every creature fights for its place. Through all these dangers, the Goliath grouper endures, an ancient survivor in a world of constant change. Their resilience is a testament not only to their strength, but to the intricate web of life that sustains Florida's vibrant marine ecosystems. Beneath the waves, where sunlight fades and mysteries multiply, a new era of exploration is unfolding. Scientists and conservationists are turning to cutting-edge technology to unlock the secrets of the Goliath grouper. The tools of their trade, sleek underwater drones, sophisticated tracking tags, and a network of sensors that reveal what the eye cannot see. Gliding silently through coral canyons and shipwrecks, underwater drones capture footage of groupers in their natural habitat, documenting their movements, hunting behavior, and interactions with other reef dwellers. High-definition cameras and sonar arrays transmit real-time data to researchers on the surface, offering a window into a world once shrouded in darkness. But observation is only the beginning. Using state-of-the-art tagging systems, scientists gently attach acoustic and satellite tags to select groupers. These tiny devices send back a constant stream of information: location, depth, water temperature, and even heart rate. Each ping adds a new piece to the puzzle, helping researchers map migration routes, spawning grounds, and feeding hotspots. Data collected over months or even years is compiled and analyzed using advanced software. Patterns emerge: seasonal journeys, daily routines, and the hidden highways of the sea. This knowledge not only deepens our understanding of grouper life, but also guides efforts to protect critical habitats and ensure the survival of these ocean giants. From silent drones to digital tags, technology is reshaping our relationship with the deep. In the pursuit of knowledge, these tools are helping to ensure that the story of the Goliath grouper continues for generations to come. As the climate shifts, so too does the world beneath the waves. For the Goliath grouper, the ocean's slow transformation is rewriting the rules of survival. Scientists are uncovering how rising sea temperatures, ocean acidification, and shifting currents are reshaping the habitats these giants call home. Warmer waters push groupers to seek cooler depths, disrupting long-established migration and spawning patterns. Coral reefs, their primary shelters and hunting grounds, are under siege from bleaching events, leaving once vibrant ecosystems barren and unrecognizable. Without healthy reefs, groupers lose both protection and prey, making survival ever more precarious. Ocean acidification, driven by increased carbon dioxide, weakens the very foundations of the reef. The calcium carbonate structures that groupers depend on for shelter and ambush hunting are dissolving, fragmenting the intricate maze of their underwater world. Even subtle changes in water chemistry can alter the abundance and distribution of prey species, forcing groupers to adapt or face starvation. Scientists track these changes, mapping how temperature spikes and shifting currents influence grouper populations, sometimes driving them into unfamiliar territories where competition and predation intensify. The data is clear: climate change is more than a distant threat. It's a present force, shaping the future of the Goliath grouper with every degree the ocean warms. Yet, by understanding these challenges, researchers hope to identify refuges, pockets of resilience where groupers may still thrive. Protecting these vital havens could be the key to ensuring that even in a changing world, the story of the ocean's gentle giants continues. Beneath the waves, the Goliath grouper is more than just a giant. It's a keystone in the intricate web of marine life. As top predators, groupers shaped the balance of the ecosystem, keeping populations of smaller fish and invertebrates in check. Each ambush, each hunt sends ripples through the food web, influencing species far beyond their immediate prey. Groupers patrol coral reefs and mangrove forests, their presence deterring overgrazing by herbivorous fish, and helping maintain the delicate balance between coral and algae. Without these giants, certain fish populations can surge unchecked, leading to algal blooms that smother coral reefs and disrupt the entire ecosystem. Their spawning aggregations, mass gatherings that occur just a few times a year, provide a seasonal feast for sharks, barracudas, and even seabirds. These gatherings are not just a spectacle of nature, but a vital pulse of energy, redistributing nutrients and supporting a cascade of marine life, from the smallest plankton to the largest predators. Juvenile groupers take shelter in mangroves and seagrass beds, acting as both predator and prey. Here, they help control crustacean populations while also serving as a crucial food source for larger fish and birds. Their movements link habitats, connecting reefs, seagrasses, and mangroves into a single living network. When groupers decline, the effects ripple outward, coral health suffers, prey populations explode, and the entire ecosystem loses resilience. Protecting groupers means preserving the balance, diversity, and vitality of the ocean itself. In the grand tapestry of marine life, these gentle giants are threads that hold the pattern together, reminding us that every species, no matter how large or small, plays a role in the story of the sea. The story of grouper fishing in Florida is a tale that spans centuries, woven through the changing tides of technology and tradition. Long before modern engines roared across the water, early settlers crafted wooden boats, their designs simple yet effective. These vessels, powered by sail and oar, ventured into the rich coastal waters where groupers lurked in abundance. Nets hand-woven from natural fibers were cast into the sea, each haul a testament to the fisherman's skill and patience. As the decades passed, innovation reshaped the seascape. The advent of steam engines in the 19th century brought new power to the fishing fleet, allowing boats to travel further and stay out longer. Steel replaced wood, and synthetic materials revolutionized gear. The once laborious task of hauling nets by hand gave way to mechanized winches, increasing efficiency and catch size. By the mid-20th century, the rise of sonar technology transformed the hunt. Fishermen could now locate dense schools of groupers with pinpoint accuracy, making each expedition more fruitful. This boom, however, was a double-edged sword. Overfishing began to strain the grouper populations, prompting shifts in regulations and practices. Today, modern fishing vessels, equipped with GPS and eco-friendly engines, glide silently over the waters. Sustainable practices and conservation efforts guide the industry, a nod to the lessons learned from the past. The nets, now designed to minimize bycatch, are a symbol of the delicate balance between harvesting and preserving. The evolution of grouper fishing in Florida is a journey of adaptation and respect. From the handcrafted boats of yesteryear to the advanced fleets of today, each era has left its mark on the waters. As technology and tradition continue to intertwine, the legacy of grouper fishing endures, a testament to the enduring bond between humans and the sea. Across the sunlit reefs and shadowy wrecks of Florida's coast, tales of legendary groupers echo through the tides. These are not mere fish, but titans, record breakers whose immense size has stunned scientists and fishermen alike. In the deep waters off Destin, a Goliath grouper once tipped the scales at over 680 pounds, its vast shadow gliding over coral gardens as old as time itself. Another behemoth, a Warsaw grouper, emerged from the inky depths near the Florida Middle Grounds, its cavernous mouth and thick scales speaking to decades spent evading both predators and nets. These giants are more than statistics in a record book. Each one is a living monument to the power and mystery of Florida's marine environment. Their lives unfold in the labyrinth of reefs, shipwrecks, and underwater caves, where they reign as apex predators and guardians of the ecosystem. For years they grow in relative secrecy, feasting on crustaceans and smaller fish, weaving themselves into the very fabric of the underwater world. But the stories of these record-breakers are bittersweet. The same environments that nurture such giants are under pressure from human activity and climate change. Every legendary grouper caught is a reminder of what the ocean can produce when given space and time, and a call to protect the habitats where future legends may still be growing unseen in the blue depths. The record-breaking groupers of Florida are not just fish. They are symbols of the wild, untamed potential of the sea and the fragile balance that sustains it. Beneath the rolling waves, the future of Florida's groupers is being rewritten. As the stories of legendary giants inspire awe and caution, a new chapter is unfolding, one defined by hope, innovation, and a renewed commitment to conservation. Across the state, bold new policies are taking shape. Stricter fishing regulations, seasonal closures, and size limits now shield vulnerable groupers during their most critical spawning times. Enforcement patrols and catch monitoring ensure that these rules are more than words, they're lifelines for future generations of giants. But protection goes beyond policies. Along Florida's coast, a network of marine reserves is expanding, transforming once threatened habitats into sanctuaries where groupers can grow, breed, and thrive undisturbed. These underwater refugees become living laboratories, teeming with life as coral reefs recover and fish populations rebound. Science, too, is rising to meet the challenge. Researchers deploy cutting-edge tracking tags, revealing the secret migrations and social lives of groupers in astonishing detail. Underwater drones and remote cameras peek into hidden lairs, gathering data that shapes smarter, more adaptive management strategies. And in the laboratories, breakthroughs in marine biology are unlocking new ways to restore habitats and even breed groupers in captivity, offering hope for populations pushed to the brink. The future of Florida's giant groupers is not yet written, but with every new reserve, every innovative policy, and every discovery beneath the waves, the promise grows brighter. The legacy of these underwater titans can endure if we choose to protect the wild spaces they call home. In the dance between nature and humanity, the next generation of legends may already be swimming unseen through Florida's blue heart.